Then please arm yourself with pens and shield yourself with grab paper as our story begins on a small airship sailing above the forest surrounding the city of West Torin. Piloting the airship is an old man named Leon, who begrudgingly accepted to transport you near the ancient ruins known as the Crater of Megiddo, a once great city of magic that was devastated by a magical cataclysm in the past. The crater still hides many powerful and terrifying secrets, and troops from the neighboring empire of Upper Torin have been spotted in the area. Your heroes are headed there because you got a tip from the mage who kind of kicked Astra out that there was some terrible doings going on here. Astra's father, as well as Kara's father, King Roland, decided not to take action against Upper Torin, but you disobeyed his orders and gathered this group of exceptional individuals to personally investigate the situation.
So from last session to this session, would we have like full hit points and mana points and...
You should, yes.
And how do we get them back? Do you click that rest button?
I think I already gave them to you.
Mine's full.
Mine for inventory points, which is how I do my crafting stuff, is 0.
I fixed it.
Okay. Thanks.
That's probably because I was experimenting. I fixed the macro for your alchemy. So first thing I want everybody to do is roll 2d6. That's how much money your characters were able to pick up as you left. 2d6 times 10.
So 6 plus 5, 11. So I have 110.
And then Reiner has another 110, so 260 for Reiner.
Heck yeah, I'm living happily.
So you said it was the 2d6 and then you multiply by 10?
And then add it to your current Zenny.
Okay.
Question, is that heater too loud? You want me to turn it off?
I don't hear the heater, you're good.
Alright, awesome.
That should be 5 for the Wander, because you did 2d6 minus 1 for some reason.
Yeah, I'm still getting the hang of this, of the dice system.
Good, so you get 50 more gold. Where are your characters located on the ship, and what are you doing? Starting with Karas.
He's over here looking off over the side.
What is the Wanderer doing?
I also changed my character's name. It just hasn't shown up quite yet.
Oh, that's a step, so I guess it'd be here.
But he's currently just observing the large bolt thrower up on the front of the airship.
Where is Astra, and what is she doing?
Astra's at the front, looking like where we're going. Like whatever we're approaching.
Where is Olivier, and what is he doing?
Olivier, I'm only going to do the accent when I'm talking. Olivier is... Oh. Where's my... There I am. Olivier is going to be over... Just looking over the side of the boat. Or airship, I should say.
And how about Reiner? And I'll need you to introduce Bolster as well.
Oh, alright. So, Reiner would be kind of like sitting on a barrel, kind of reading his book, and Bolster is about a waist-high, kind of robotic-looking man. He stands right next to Reiner, and he just kind of sits there, looking around the ship, over the bows, watching as we fly over the city.
I'm going to say that Aron is speaking with Leon, the pilot, discussing this wondrous flying ship. Here's where I want to mention that you guys all have narrative control of the situation. Feel free to add details to many of the scenes. If you feel like this does or does not have certain things, say so. If I think that it's going to be a strain on the story, I might ask you to spend a Fabula point to make it true, but generally, I want you to feel like this is your story as much as it's mine. We're all discovering this together.
Okay. Oh,
Is that noble?
I think it is. Yep.
Hello.
Hello. Can you get into the foundry? The forge?
That is what I'm trying to do. It wants me to log in.
You'll need to log into the forge first, and then we're kind of in a narrative situation. So once you get fully in, or if you get you're having trouble shooting, we can do that. I'm just going to keep it moving forward. The tops of the trees part abruptly, and you can see the crater below.
Is that the crater right there?
That's it. An oddly circular pit descending into the ground, filled with the remains of ancient stone buildings and once glorious waterways that crumble towards its depths. Just as Leon prepares to descend, you hear a rumbling noise from the depths of the crater, and then suddenly a great beam of purplish energy shoots from below. Hitting the left side of the airship. In a moment, the magical energy has faded, but the vessel definitely didn't like it. Son of a cactual, snaps Leon. I swear, this is the last time I drive a bunch of adventures around. We'll be lucky to get down there in one piece. You all understand that the airship is far too damaged and a crash landing is inevitable, but each of you might still find ways to make it less disastrous. You're each going to make a check. Tell me how you think you're going to keep yourself from a nasty tumble into the earth.
What order do we go in?
First come, first serve.
I'm going to run to the main mast and try to grab onto it. Like, assuming there's some kind of rope where I can use my sword to try to keep myself in one place.
Alright, so you're trying to just secure yourself. Double click on your character sheet. And then, like in the middle of the right, you'll see roll check. Put Dex plus Might. It takes some dexterity to try and all the kerfuffle actually get a good hold, and then Might to actually hold on.
Alright, Dex and Might. Cool.
Would it be reasonable to assume that my character has like a spare belt with him?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Le Garde has managed to hold on, giving him at least some type of purchase. So what are you going to be doing with that belt, Olivier?
Olivia is gonna... I assume these are like little mooring areas where I could, say, tie a belt to it and basically wrap myself around the belt, try to stabilize myself on the other side of the ship that's not careening towards the earth.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a Dex plus Insight. Mostly Dex to like get it in there, but Insight in order to make a good decision on where to actually attach yourself.
Trying to find the... that?
I'll allow that. And that's another 10. So you also secure yourself. Rainer, Karis, Astra, and Aaron. You also have decisions to make.
What is that? Is
What
that
do you
a
think
small...
it is?
I think it's like a front mast, a small one.
Works for me.
So I would like to try to secure myself to that. like sit at the base of it and, tie myself to it or use ropes if I've got them.
Seems like it could also be another dexterity plus insight.
Okay. Let's see. So do you change? Oh, I see it.
You also passed. You actually passed a 13, so you've done the best job so far. We got a couple more people to go.
Question for you, Eli.
Go ahead.
So, when I was designing Bolster with you, you said that his flying feature would be able to hold not everyone, so it'd be able to hold at least me, right?
He will probably be able to hold one person, yes.
Alright, am I able to get on him and use his fly ability to at least stop me from falling?
Did you ever play the Sonic games, like on Genesis?
I unfortunately did not.
It's more like you're both holding hands, and that's who he's going to be flying to pick you up.
Oh, you mean like how Sonic holds Tails?
Exactly.
Gotcha. So kind of like Ratchet and Clank.
Same way.
Got it. I'll take that. That's pretty cool.
He's still going to need to make a dexterity and might check. There's going to be on Bolster.
Alrighty.
Bolster succeeds. Kind of like he's going to lift you off the airship. So far, nobody is protecting the ship. You're just protecting yourselves. We still have Karis and Aaron.
So what is the guy doing at the wheel up there? He's trying to crash land the ship.
Yeah, he appears to be swearing up a storm, and he's looking for a nice patch of trees to try and land into near the crater.
So, would it be helpful if I help him steer
That could be helpful.
so it doesn't crash?
This seems like would also be a dexterity insight roll.
Okay. How do I select them again?
You
Double
just
click
like
your character sheet, and then like
Okay.
you see the roll check.
That I don't see.
On the top right-ish, under Fabula points, it says roll check. Should say dex plus dex. Just change the options.
Oh, got it. So it was Dex plus Insight, right?
I think so.
All right. And then how do you roll?
Hit roll check.
Oh, got it. There we go.
the new
You just-
sheet's a little hard to tell
Not
what
too
is
good.
the clicky and what's not.
Do you click the plus sign to customize the roll?
Click the dex or the might. Like there's a dex plus dex, not the plus. You click the actual word of the attribute.
Okay. Cool.
And so Karis is trying to help, but is just getting in the way. Leon like pushes you back, and you lose total control. So you're going to be taking some kind of stats effect at the end. Aaron, what are you doing?
So, two quick questions. One, 'cause obviously I was late. Is our mission still protecting the princess, or has that varied?
All right, so your mission is to investigate the crater of Megiddo to see why the soldiers of Upper Torin are investigating that themselves. You probably have the side quest of protecting the princess.
Okay. I'm going to do the same and just basically try to see what I could do, like ask the pilot what would be the best course of action to try to, steer or protect the ship from crashing, or at the least protecting it from being a fatal crash.
Sure. So you have a free moment to ask Leon what you think you should do, and he's going to tell you that he could use some help putting out the fire because he thinks he can land this baby, but he isn't sure that it's going to be easy to repair if this wind fans the flames too much.
Is there any water around? Any buckets of water?
Absolutely. You were a little bit late, so you didn't hear. I'm giving you guys a narrative control. If I didn't say it's not there, it's probably there. If I feel like you need to spend a Fabula point to make it is there, then we'll do that. But typically, have freedom, stun to the world.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am going to try to put out the fire with some water.
I feel like this could be double dex or double insight. Your call.
Let's look at my...
You guys have all been on the ship for a little while. You know where the water is already. So it's either double dex to like do a good application, or double insight in order to get the right angle on the fire.
All right. I have it selected, but it doesn't say roll check. I see it on my sheet dex. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm blind.
It's a new sheet. They updated it, and like Link said, there's some parts of it I really like. Other parts of it, it's in beta.
Oh, I rolled. I got a 13.
That's a success. So you do reduce the flames. All of your actions have led to most of you landing safely. Thanks to Aaron's good actions, the flame has simmered to mostly just one primary location. However, getting a rough bump on the head, Karis is dazed. After you land, just a little bit north of the crater of Megiddo, Leon is going to actually check you all up and down. The airship has crashed, its hull wedged into the dirt and muck at the crater's edge. It's clear the vessel won't be flying anytime soon, and from the center of the pit, you can see irregular pulses of purple, glowing energy. The source of that light still active somewhere in the center. Leon looks at you, scratching his head. Well, this is a mess, all right. Pretty sure you've got your work cut out for you down there too, nodding towards the center of the crater. I'll survey the damage. Thank you, Aaron, for your assistance. You might need a hand or three later. I might need a hand or three later fixing this place, so you better get back here in one piece. In fact, the best way you can help right now is by shutting down whatever caused that explosion. I'm no adventurer, so I'm going to leave it to you, and then he's going to give a tonic to Karis, curing their dazed.
Thank you.
Just get back here in one piece. I'm going to need as much help as get out of here as much as you do.
Well, I guess we could be heading off.
Yes, thank you for flying us.
Thanks for the flight.
Yeah, this is definitely going to come out of the pay, so you better find some treasure while you're down there.
So I guess we start traveling to the south.
And while you're traveling, you're probably talking to each other. Astra, you are the heir to the throne of West Tauren, and you believe it is your duty to protect the people and stop the Upper Tauren Empire from seizing control of the crater. Your father thinks otherwise and orders you not to come here, but you disobeyed him. Do you find that your position as heir is an honor or a burden?
It's probably both. I mean, it's the burden part would have to be it is a responsibility, but at the same time, like, it's a privilege to have it.
When your father forbade you from coming here, do you believe he was trying to protect you?
I believe he was just stubborn and wants his way instead of thinking like other people might.
So why don't we open up your character sheet and create a bond relative to your responses?
Okay.
Now at the bottom, there are those four... Yeah, you figured out already. On the left is the name.
Who would
And
I
then
make a bond with?
It could be a bond to your city, I think would be appropriate.
Okay.
West Tauren.
What's the second one? Because it.
The next
It's
three are the
action.
emotional strengths.
Okay.
So choose one emotional strength. It could be positive or negative.
Let's see. So I pick one because I'm kind of debating admiration or loyalty.
Feel free to mull it over and choose whichever it is on the sheet.
Okay. And then
Rainer.
do I set it, the bond strength, do I set it to 0 or do I make it
So
1?
having one emotional strength makes it 1.
Okay.
The maximum is 3 because you would have 1 of each.
Okay.
Rainer, you are the former captain of the guard, the elite soldiers of West Torrent. You came here after hearing rumors of a woman with a white spear among the upper Torrens, the same spear your mentor Desdemona used to wield. Desdemona left the city after the violent death of her brother Tristan. What was your relationship with the two of them? That's for you, Jesse.
I'm trying to think of my relationship with them. I reckon that they'd be good friends and learning companions, kind of like almost classmates, in trying to better ourselves on learning more of what life has to offer us and what magics unfold in life and what reaches beyond our comprehension.
That sounds like admiration to me.
It does sound like admiration.
How did her brother Tristan die?
He died seeking knowledge in something further than we grasp at the moment. So our curiosities got the better of us, and he was too eager for his liking, and went on ahead and seemed to not come back.
Your character was the former captain of the guard. Why did he choose to abandon that position?
The grief of losing the people around him and not knowing what caused it or how to prevent it has seeped in deep on him, and now he has faults at wondering how he could have prevented it and how he is as a captain, whether he could have led them in a better position to not get injured.
Very good. Leguard, you are a young paragon from the village of Torrencrest, where you survived a terrible accident. You rebuilt your life using every scrap you could find, the same thing that has allowed many people to pull themselves out from destitution. Even so, you hope to learn more about technology and magic and perhaps make the world a better place. What happened to Torrencrest?
The terrible conflicts of this civil war were the primary cause of Torrencrest's destruction, and since then I have wandered this world to seek knowledge and strength to try to see if we can heal this world.
Very nice. Due to West Torrent's actions, technology and magic will forever be associated with war, but at least Astra's castle and kingdom are not sending living people into battle. What are your thoughts on the upper Torrents, the people investigating this place, who were partially to blame for the destruction of Torrencrest?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? It's been a long day.
No worries. Due to the actions of both sides, magic and technology will forever be associated with war in this world, but at least the people of Astra's civilization are not sending living people into battle, largely relying on magitech to use like distance and artillery and things like that. What are your thoughts on the other side of the Civil War, the Upper Torrent people? She's West Torrent. The enemies are Upper Torrent, who use living people, and like they're not as technologically advanced as Astra's people are.
Well, they'll cling to their ways in some respects. The way they do things, sending living people into war, is in some ways more terrible than using these unfeeling automatons, which is of course a moral question of its own.
So that sounds like a bond you could make to me. Can you imagine a bond that you would forge from that character building exercise? It would either be to West Torin or Upper Torin, I think.
I'm just trying to remember where the bonds were.
On your character sheet, it's the very bottom. There's the 4 blank spaces with a 0 on the right.
Gotcha.
So the left one is the name. The next 3 spaces are pairs of emotional strengths. You would put in the name of the bond and then choose one emotional strength, positive or negative.
Alright.
Karas, you are a bastard prince without a kingdom. Your home, West Torin, has resisted the war from Upper Torin. They are powerless against you, and you have witnessed the Empire's attempt to take everything you have held dear, including your loved ones. Your heart is heavy with guilt, and you will do anything in your power to save your home from the fate of the villages and towns that West Torin could not protect from Upper Torin. Why did Upper Torin attack the village that your character was born in? Torinvale.
They were looking for a missing artifact that was said to be in the church there.
What was that artifact or powerful weapon?
That artifact was the Tears of the Fallen. It's a glass container with a glowing blue liquid that was said to be suspended in the air in a case in the church, but when they got there was nothing there except an empty case.
Can you imagine a bond your character would have created from this experience?
He stole the tears.
You stole the tears. Very cool. But you probably don't have them anymore.
He hid them somewhere.
So maybe your bond is to the tears.
Yeah.
Olivia.
Yep.
You are also from Torin Crest, which was destroyed by Upper Torin. Upper Torin's dark metal is known as one of the best protections in the world, and your arrowheads are occasionally tipped with them. Who gifted those to you?
Arrowheads? I use a gun.
Oh, sorry, you have a bow in your art.
Yeah, that... Wait, do I? That's Oron.
That's Oron. Sorry, I'm going to turn that question to... Your guns are made of this dark metal. Who gifted them to you?
I would say it was probably someone from the Royal Guard. Maybe
your
someone...
relationship with them?
I would say a mentor, more than likely. If we do have a former head of the Royal Guard in the party, correct?
Yes. Instead, I would like to say it's either Desdemona or Tristan.
I was gonna say no. They would probably recognize the weapons.
Rainer probably does recognize those weapons.
Desdemona or Tristan? Probably Tristan.
So maybe you want to make a bond to Tristan.
Yeah. Let me pull up my bonds real quick.
As for Aaron, you were also trained by Desdemona. What was your relationship with her and her brother?
That was the former Royal Guard? Am I correct, or am I?
Those were the trainers of the Royal Guard.
Oh, the trainers. I would say that it was a good relation. I mean, my character has gone on to become somewhat of a trainer himself. So, I would say there would be a form of admiration, since he looked up to them. Both of them, for that matter.
So perhaps you would like to make just the single bond, Desdemona and Tristan, as admiration.
Makes sense to me.
And so you know as Desdemona as a woman who wielded a white spear. The strength of your bonds can be used to improve your rolls. You can spend a Fabula point, and if it's appropriate to your bond, then you can just increase that roll by 1. As your bonds become greater in strength, you can increase the rolls by up to 3. As you all get to the edge of the crater, you see that it is not a crater. It is the inside of an ancient building, perhaps a temple. It's a dark room illuminated with a dim purple glow. Supporting the sides are massive bronze pillars decorated with ancient symbols filled with cracks from which are seeping rays of intense energy. You can hear the clacking of armored heels on the stone floor deep inside, and you see... I'm going to change the scene so we can do this next part.
No.
2 dark figures enter a central dome at the center. That was redundant. A central dome.
What do the dark figures look like? Can we see them? Oh, they're there.
So now, are they siblings?
So your characters don't see this. This is a cutscene. So
Yeah.
the players see this, but the characters don't see this part. You saw them enter it, but you don't see this actual part. This is just for
Well, I just
players.
mean you had talked about Desdemona and Tristan before. Do we know that they have the same last name?
You do. But you don't know that your characters probably haven't identified those figures as Desdemona and Tristan yet.
Okay.
We haven't walked into the building yet, because you said it's a cutscene. Our characters haven't walked in, correct?
Correct. This is just for players.
Okay.
So this ancient building, does this predate our civilization?
It does. And because 2 of the villains of this have been introduced, each of you were going to be earning 1 more Fabula point. Anytime a villain is introduced, everybody gets a Fabula point.
So does that mean we get 2 Fabula points or just 1?
You get 2. And in this cutscene, you hear, we hear the clacking of armored heels on the stone floor, and a hand approached the pillar wrapped in a silver gauntlet. The scientists were right, a feminine voice says. The compass was left buried here ever since the disaster. Now that we have it, dear brother, now I will bring you back for good. And the 2 shadows stand against the purple light. One, a massive giant clad in armor. The other, a shorter and thinner woman wielding a long spear. It seems our heroes don't have much time left. make the descent, we must return to our heroes. There's no clear path towards the bottom of the crater. The place is littered with rubble, collapsed buildings, and shattered columns. The whole area whispers of the lives that were lost here. A maze of ruins bathed in ominous purple light coming from a large building several hundreds of meters below where you are.
So how do we
Alright.
think the others got down there?
What do you think?
I don't know.
So I have two thoughts here. You said there's purple glowing energy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my two thoughts, I'm saying this to the party. One would be I would want to know what that purple energy is. I think my character has something about memory. And two, I'm thinking archer, arrow, rope, shoot a rope, secure it to something. A
Yeah,
makeshift.
all of your characters can work together towards the same goal of getting towards the bottom, but we're going to make this a single group check, so it sounds like you're volunteering to being the leader of the group check.
Yes. If nobody opposes that to the party.
No, that's fine by me.
Yeah, it's alright.
Sounds good.
So the rule I'm introducing is group checks. As a group, you all decide who the leader is. The leader is the one who decides what the attributes you're using. You say you're trying to shoot a good shot.
Yeah, so it's for twofold purposes. One, just like throwing anything down a hole, kind of hear how long it falls for, right? And then two, depending on what it connects to, make some type of secure rope grappling system. So we'll see what happens. That's the thought there.
So definitely, I think we can all agree that using a bow is a dexterity shot, while insight is going to be used for determining the best place to shoot it.
Yeah.
Everybody makes a dexterity insight check. For everybody else, this represents your character's dexterity, having good handwork and holding onto the rope, and insight, choosing the right places to put your feet as you're climbing down.
Alright.
This has a fixed difficulty of 10, and so if your leader does not hit 10, then each of you who succeed on 10 is going to add +1 to Aaron's roll.
And I roll both dex and insight, correct?
Yes, you make a dex insight roll.
What?
Ugh.
Aaron passes on his own. However, the guard has a critical failure. This is a mixture of things. That means that's going to be a -1 to the roll, but with other people's successes, it doesn't get in the way. If this was not a support check, the guard would also get a Fabula point, but because it's a support check, you do not get the Fabula point for the fumble.
Alright. Well, it was nice knowing you guys. I'm assuming I'm taking the expressway down.
No, because of everybody's help and assistance, as a group, you all make it down together without incident. Despite some difficulties, you manage to reach the lower level of the ruins. The source of the purple light grows closer and closer to the north, and you can see there appears to be a dome-shaped building hiding behind some of the narrow and winding tunnels to the north, a few blocks away from where you currently are. Strewn amongst the rubble to the west of where you are a little bit, the remains of several Upper Tauren Magitech soldiers, some lying motionless on the ground, others hissing and shaking in a shower of sparks as they wander the ruins. Look like whatever magical energy damaged your airship also ended up irreparably firing the magical cores inside these constructs.
So do we think they're still dangerous?
Why don't you
Their
make
magical
a
cores are
double
fine.
insight check?
Okay.
Or maybe like Leguard has decided already. They are, of course, they're dangerous. They're magical. Is anybody else doing anything?
Olivier readies his gun and
Ready
his
to
shield.
go.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the scene to pop up. Honestly.
Oh, you're loading still?
Yeah, I'm looking.
No.
What kind of check can I roll to try to estimate the distance? This drop right here, where the two Magitech soldiers are.
Double insight. Actually, so because it's not very effective. It's like a 8-foot drop. Something that your character could jump in and out of with some effort.
All right. Do I have to roll a check to jump in?
No, just natural exploration.
All right. I'm going to investigate this closest Magitech guy.
Since he's getting closer, I'm going to move up to the cliff just to kind of cover him.
Double insight.
Who?
For me?
In that no, for the Wanderer.
Okay.
And Astra has already determined that some of these are still active and dangerous. Are you here yet, Noble?
No, it totally blanked out on me, but it's fine. I'm watching the stream, so
Try
I won't be.
refreshing. 'Cause we're going to want you in here in a moment.
Yeah, I just refreshed it.
Suddenly, those of you who are not in the pit see a small, cloaked person running towards you, chased by a one-eyed, winged monster.
Somebody's here. What's going on?
I think
She screams, I'm just a merchant, but please help, in a young girl's voice, then rushes past you. She clearly wants to make sure you stand between her and the monster. The sudden movement and light also draws the attention of two of the less damaged Alonian troopers, which slowly drag themselves towards your position. It looks like you'll have to fight. So now, we get to roll initiative. Initiative is also a group check. You're probably going to want to designate whoever has the highest initiative bonus as the leader, and then everybody else is going to roll. For the leader, the difficulty is the higher initiative level of the enemies. It's always a dexterity plus insight check.
Well, mine says 0, so I'll let you guys know that.
It's usually like, it wouldn't be like a bonus, it would be dexterity plus insight. So whoever has the highest dexterity and whoever has the highest insight at the same time.
1. It says INIT 0, so I assume that's initiative.
That would be your bonus to initiative.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
My dex is 10 and my insight is 8.
Yeah, me too, but I have a -1 initiative.
Same.
Probably because of your armor.
Mine are both D8s, and my initiative bonus thing is 0.
I'm
So
the
right
same
now-
as that.
Right now it looks like Olivier is probably the leader.
Dex and insight, right?
Just roll initiative.
Oh, there's a button.
Yeah, right above the modifier.
Yeah.
So we all roll.
Everybody rolls, and then just like with the other group checks, they're going to modify the leaders if you get a 10 or above.
Almost.
Roll a 9.
So 11.
All right, so you guys won because the leader hit 10, and with any of everybody else getting the 10 plus, that's a +1. So the way combat works is it's back and forth. Everybody gets 1 round. Who of the players wants to go first?
Well, I shall attack first then.
There
Now,
are not typically like range bands and things like that. You can definitely get into range of the Elonian troops. However, the Hexai is flying, so unless you have a ranged weapon or you can fly, you cannot target the Hexai, which is harassing this young merchant.
Very well,
So-
I will. Stuff.
Go ahead, Mike.
Just bringing up my character sheet. Oh wait.
You just have the hotkey bars. It should be a little bit faster. Mouse
Yes,
over
I,
who you want to hit. Hit T on the keyboard, no left click, no right click, to target them. And then attack with your weapon.
All right. All right, I got a 10, I believe.
That's an 11 to hit because you get a +1 because you are a melee weapon master.
Right,
and
you are.
Does the high roll of your 2 dice, 10 was the higher, and that's, sorry, 8 was the higher, but it's a +10 damage, 18 damage to the Elonian trooper. Which puts him into crisis. He has a crisis mode, which means that he starts to like spark, and you can see some of this shocking energy start to enter his weapon. Let's make it the Elonian trooper's turn. He attempts to return, and what's your defense?
My defense is 11.
He misses. Who's the next player?
If everyone else doesn't mind, I'll go ahead and take a swing. T to target and then click on my ability from the hotbar.
That's the fastest way.
I am going to take a shot.
That's definitely a hit. 16 physical damage.
And yeah.
And then I'm going to have the other Elonian trooper advance on the Wanderer and attempt to attack him. A 15 does hit. 20 bolt damage.
All right.
Then the next player.
I'll go next.
What's Aster doing?
I'm gonna use basic alchemy. So
I
I
got
rolled.
you rolled, and then
I
you can
rolled a
click on
1.
target and effect and choose what the 1 and the 14 are going to go to.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta pull up my sheet that tells me what does what.
I also have it right there in there if you want to click where it says there's a link to the text pages. I originally had it with like this really big long table that covered the entire chat screen. I was like, that's too much for me.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's see. So my choices are either an ally or every ally. Alright,
Oh,
so
it
I've
looks
got
like
to do.
the effect broke. Like I had the entire effect thing in there, but it's now the target twice.
Oh, okay. I've got it. I just gotta get to it. Effect. So one is I let someone treat their dex and might dice as if they were one size higher. So I can buff someone, or I can make something shaken, dazed, slowed, or weak. But let me go back to target. So I can either do an ally or everybody. So I'll do this. Sorry, my brain's not great. I'll use the 14 as you and every ally, and then I will have my effect be that first one. So everyone gets to treat their dex and might as one size higher until the end of your next turn.
That's really powerful. Nice.
It is. And you can remember that to help everyone out.
I don't need to remember it. I'm just going to activate this on everybody.
Okay. Well, that's the end of my turn.
And then hit the basic alchemy IP macro. That's going to spend the IP for you.
It wouldn't let me do it. I don't have permission to execute it. But I can go subtract the IP.
Sure. Do the minus 3, 4? I think it's
It's 3. But that didn't work. There. I set it to 7.
Alright, everybody's buffed. That's really powerful.
The alchemy is cool because it's all just kind of random.
That is a lot of fun. Alright, it's the Hexai. Hexai is going to have a random target. Aaron.
Do I go after the Hexai?
You or Karis or Aaron can go after the Hexai.
Alrighty.
You didn't buff the Wanderer.
Oh, because he's all the way over there. I'll get him in a moment.
Okay.
You called for me. Am I supposed to roll something?
No, what's your defense?
11.
The Hexai misses you.
Is that a melee attack or ranged?
That's a melee attack. It swoops in
Missed it.
and tries to shadow wing him, misses him, and then returns to the flying situation.
Let's back up there again.
Yes. Who of the players is next? Now that everybody else is just players, because all the enemies have acted, and they're not villains, so they only get 1 action per round.
I'll shoot at the Hexai with my crossbow.
Go ahead. That's a hit. 15 damage. You have put it into crisis, with which grounds it. Raynor and Aaron can go now.
So, question.
Mhm.
I'm looking at my spells, and the only spell I know is heal.
Yes. But you can
What
also spend your
range?
action to let Bolster attack, and Bolster has a laser.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Bolster. I didn't even look at Bolster. Bolster's gonna make an attack.
Bolster lasers the Hexai.
As he reaches out his arm to laser it, you kind of hear like the sounds of what a toy would make, like the little guns you get, like the fair and stuff, like the alien sounds.
Nice. Aaron's turn.
Going to shoot my bow. I believe I'm targeting the winged creature. I'm gonna.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
That's gonna miss it. Perhaps your character expected it to be in the air, but then this laser shoots it out, and you don't miss it because your aim was bad, but because somebody interfered with you.
Makes sense. And that's it for me.
Next round. You guys were first. Who's gonna go first?
All right, I'm ready to go again. If that's chill with everyone.
Seems like it.
Cool. I'm gonna attack the same opponent.
another hit, and you destroy it.
Cool. I thought I killed the one I was in front of.
Oh, you said the same opponent, so as the one who was damaged.
Oh. My bad, I have misinterpreted something.
And then the one who is in front of you is going to attack you. .27 bolt damage to the Wanderer. That was the wrong person. There we go. You are in crisis now. Next player.
So the Wanderer is in crisis now.
He is. You saw he has taken 2 solid strikes from the troopers.
Okay. I'll go next. I'll go ahead and do basic alchemy. And I got I'm gonna try. This time both of mine target enemies. 7 and 17. One is one enemy and one is every enemy. So I guess I can't heal you. I can do fire damage or I can do a healing to the enemies. So I guess I will do...
Is there a default heal? I'm pulling up the effect right now.
There is, but I still have to... One die goes for a target and one guy goes for an effect. So last time both of the dice on the target one were allies. This time both of them are enemies.
Gotcha. So you count
I'll use the 17 to target every enemy, and I'll use the 7 to do fire damage. So it suffers 20 fire damage. So that's what I do.
Alright, every enemy suffers 20 fire damage.
Maybe
You
someone
put
else can heal.
that trooper to the far side in crisis, and you scorch the hexblade. It screams, and instead of dying, it's going to escape by diving down into the cliff.
Anyone else have a healing ability?
It's anybody else's turn. Reiner does have a healing ability.
I go after the thing though, don't I?
So the initiative is not like a strict order in this game. It's a new round, so because there's nowhere enemies to act, players get to go one at a time.
The eye demon thing fled.
Yeah, it was defeated.
Yeah.
I guess I'll cast heal.
Thank you.
And the Wanderer heals 40 hit points.
Oh, and no healing spell.
Only cost you 10 MP. Next ally.
I'll shoot the trooper with my crossbow.
Take your shot.
Ooh, not good.
You miss. Olivier and Aaron.
If you don't mind, I'll go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and target him and try to blam.
That's a hit.
But does it kill?
I did the wrong person. Isn't I?
Thank you.
It does kill. Ending the conflict. Why don't we take a quick break? Back to the world of Fabula Ultima. The little girl pulls back her hood, and with a relieved sigh, you see two round ears emerge from her hair, similar to those of a bear. She smiles. Well, howdy. Thanks for the help. The name's Olivia. I'm a traveling merchant, and, well, if you're interested in business, I might have a thing or two in my backpack. This is where your character is going to have an opportunity to heal up, recover mind points, and restore your inventory points. Typically, characters can only recover inventory points when you're in town or you come upon a wandering merchant. It usually costs 10 zeni per inventory point, but because she's so thankful for you saving her life, it's only going to cost you 5 IP. Sorry, 5 zeni per IP.
I'm sorry, what is she offering us?
She's offering to sell you guys consumables, which this game abstracts as inventory points. If you also wanted to purchase some regular equipment, you could do that here, because she just has all manner of assortments in her backpack.
Can we
Would you
have
happen to have a ranged weapon?
She does have a short bow and a crossbow. She has non-martial weapons with her.
Am I able to use a short bow or crossbow?
Yes.
I would like to use the crossbow. Is it handheld or two hands?
I need to pull it up.
Alrighty.
The crossbow is two-handed.
I assume the other bow is also two-handed.
Yes. Crossbow costs 150. The short bow
What about the
costs
short bow?
200.
Why does the short bow cost more? Does it do more damage?
It is the same damage, but it uses the dexterity attribute twice instead of being dexterity plus insight, so it could be an easier thing to optimize.
Alright. How much do I have again? 210?
You have 260, more than anybody else.
Ooh. That's a nice sounding number, but do I really want to do that? I think I'll do that.
We will give you a crossbow.
So
I know the short bow.
We will give you a short bow.
I filled my IP back up. I needed 6.
And then you would spend 30 zeni.
Yeah, I subtracted them already.
and we can only have
Most people can only have 6 IP as the default.
Okay.
Some classes give them additional ones.
Yeah.
Only other thing is that Rainer might want to spend 15 more gold just to drink an elixir, which would restore the rest of his mind points.
How much should I restore my mind points all the way?
15 gold, leaving you at 45.
I actually don't have much missing compared to what costs to use.
It's true, and you can always spend IP in combat because you got 6 inventory points to restore them later. But
That is true. I think I'm gonna skip on that one right now.
Alright, nobody else has really spent anything.
Very much
Awesome.
like a video game save point.
That's what this was, yes. We're now in free interaction. You guys can talk to Olivia, investigate the Magitech troopers, look at the things around here.
So Olivia, what brings you down here?
Well, I know that this is an ancient ruin, and I was just hoping to find some artifacts, maybe some accessories to help sell back at home, make some good zenny. It's hard to find other panpun, which is what my lineage is, out here in the world, and so I thought maybe I would blend in with some of the monsters, but I've never seen creatures like there are in these ruins.
Aaron is gonna go
I know,
investigate.
guys.
What's Aaron doing?
Investigating the soldiers.
Go ahead and make a double insight roll.
Right.
Why do I have 3 of 10?
What's the question, Mike?
Oh no, I also wanted to investigate the the Magitech soldiers, so I just rolled for that too for fun.
Aaron can't figure anything out. However, you can. You see that these now lifeless constructs were irreparably damaged by the same magical energy that struck your ship, or by your assault. You see that they are probably a part of the same force that attacked your hometowns and were part of the Civil War. Aaron doesn't know how to do it, but he's certain that somebody could salvage these Magitech parts for Zenny.
Are there any parts I could try to pry off this thing?
You could. It wouldn't be worth much in that state. Like, you would need to isolate them a little bit more. Probably Astra is the only one with the technical skill to do it properly.
I could do it. What would I need to roll for it?
You can just do it. Your character's a tinkerer. You're like one of the best tinkerers around. You may be an alchemist first, but you have a general technological knowledge. And while you have not sold them yet, you know that you've salvaged 400 zenny worth of materials, which could either go towards that or for future projects.
Yeah.
And it might be worth salvaging these. There's a lot of technology in these things.
So if we wanted to spend the time to do that, is it worth doing that now?
Well, you've done the salvaging. Would you say to do that? Do you have a project in mind?
Oh, not specifically. I would have to go back and reread all the project information.
You could reread it, or you could leave it to me to help you interpret and say what your goals are and stuff.
Yeah.
It would still mean your characters are kind of like hanging out in this spot for a couple of days or more. They might also be useful in repairing the airship.
That's true. Because at some point we are going to need to leave this place.
Any further questions or things people would like to introduce to the narrative?
I'm just curious, is that a puddle of water or something? The blue?
Yeah, that's a puddle of water at the deeper parts of that crater.
How safe is this bridge?
Astra trusts it. And in fact, Olivia did a hurried rush across that bridge, and it didn't seem to really waver.
Oh, okay.
Looks sturdier than it. It's sturdier than it looks, I suppose. I was gonna check the same thing. So. Think we will just need to watch our step.
Agreed.
Always better to be safe than sorry. I'm gonna investigate down there, not physically going down there, but just looking down there where the water is, see if there's anything of interest.
Astra has picked apart most of these already, but this is where the other damaged troopers were.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you want to invent something? Is there something down there that I wasn't aware of? Would you
The
like to
only-
spend a Fabula point and I will tell you something fantastic that's there?
That is an enticing offer. I shall take you up on this.
Go ahead, spend the first Fabula point of the game to change the story. Aaron doesn't really understand what he sees here, but some part of this water seems to be pooling on top of it. Karis recognizes it as one of the tears. What was it? Was it the tears of fate?
Tears of the Fallen.
One of the tears of the fallen is in this crater.
I see something down there.
Now, are the tears like liquid? Or are they crystal?
This one appears to be a liquid, but it's like oil on water. It is pooled and formed its own little section. People have drinking the potions at this point, so you have an empty bottle and you can very easily take it. This one can give anybody a +4 bonus to their next check.
Is it a free action to drink it?
It is.
Okay.
So the party has it, and then whoever wants to use it can use it, or somebody needs to equip it to their inventory.
We can keep it kind of fluid. We say that somebody in the party has it, and then the way it is narratively is this is called you spent a Fabula point and you created an opportunity for the party. You kind of left it open. I decide what the opportunity is, and now once it comes up, that's the person who has it and uses it.
Fair enough. I like it. It's a good trade.
It might not even be something that gets drinking. Maybe the character like pours it on top of their head or something, and then they're filled with inspiration.
So I have a relationship with the tears. Does that help me harvest it or anything?
It means that if you're the character who uses it, then maybe you could also spend another Fabula point to turn it to a +5 because you only have
Gotcha.
the one emotional strength to it.
Yep. Okay. I just wondered how that worked. Thanks.
There are other ways it could work. If you wanted to, maybe if your character used it, then they get some additional benefits, like to help you recover from something, or like that kind of stuff, you know?
Okay.
This was also
Okay.
a rest. If people want to create a new bond or add a new emotion to their current bond, this would be the time to do it.
So does the ones we created last time count too?
Yes. Jesse, do you want to have a new bond or increase your current bond?
I would like to increase my current bond. I've not felt like I've found something to create a new bond with.
So for as far as Desdemona and Tristan, do you feel like you have them with loyalty and mistrust, or affection or hatred?
Desdemona, I believe.
Which one? Loyalty, mistrust, affection, or hatred?
I feel like loyalty.
Boom. You now have a level 2 emotional bond to Desdemona and Tristan. They're part of the same bond.
Oh, alrighty then.
Anybody else want to call out what their changes are?
I will. So I don't the girl we met, she's probably an outsider that doesn't really fit in like the West Tauren or the Upper Tauren. But
Absolutely.
for me, just meeting more common people, just going through their lives. I mean, a young girl comes into a dangerous dungeon to to find more stuff to sell to support her family or whatever. For me, it just kind of makes admiration for my bond with the city of West Torin.
I
Just
love it.
like
That's really
everything.
cool. Anybody else?
I wanted to increase the intensity of my bond about from fighting the automata, because it brings back the, related to the memories of these things destroying my village and, filling me with determination.
So that sounds like loyalty to West Torin.
Cool.
Or affection. I could see either one.
I have two thoughts, Eli. Does it have to be? I mean, I know cities and people have pretty much been the main bonds. What's the other thoughts out there?
There could be concepts. So you have a bond towards like the idea of the hope of duty, of peace in between peoples.
Well,
Maybe towards a goal.
my thought here is after the fight, especially as a soldier, we have a few guardsmen, etc. Just seeing the strength of the party, that we were rescued somebody, and that's what I'm thinking. Is so much of, hey, we accomplished a goal, a success that we didn't plan for, and just having that prideful moment.
So you don't have a formal name for your group, but you can call it whatever you want. But it sounds like a new bond.
Yeah, it is a new bond. I'm
And
thinking
you
of
have
a new.
loyalty towards them.
Maybe loyalty. I was even thinking admiration. But yeah,
Admiration makes sense. You
so
make
I'm
the
just
call.
I'm gonna put party because I'm not gonna name the group, but I will put party. And
Anyone else want to volunteer their character building?
I had two thoughts. Either Karis's inferiority bond with Astra goes up one from all the cool stuff she does with the.
So that the inferiority does not increase. You would just add a new emotion to it.
Oh, a new emotion to it. I guess affection, since she's not as bad as I thought she was.
Yeah, you felt really empowered by her during that entire thing. That's sweet. How about Olivia?
I'm kind of messing around with my bond right now. Seeing one of these things probably brings up his service with the Royal Guards. So he's sort of remembering the... Hello? Can you... Oh, there it
I
is.
hear you.
So he's probably remembering like fallen comrades, and he's dwelling on that. That's for the emotion.
It looks like you chose loyalty.
I put loyalty, yeah.
But despite the growing emotions between you all, it only gets worse from here, because soon enough, your characters will face the ultimate challenge of this session. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. There's supposed to be a clock interval where I introduce a new rule, but because we are running a little bit short on time, I'm going to fast forward to your characters getting to the final combat.
all right.
So now this thing's a compass. That's what we kind of overheard, or our players overheard.
The players overheard. So you make your way through the ruins at the bottom of the crater and towards the large dome-shaped building. From up close, You can see it is made of stone and brass, streaked by vertical gaps glowing with purple light. It resembles an engine more than it does a building. Upon entering, you can see the inside consists of a single circular room, its roof supported by a massive central pillar covered in arcane symbols. Judging by the scraps scattered on the ground, the pillar was originally encased in brass, but its lower section has been smashed by a powerful impact. Standing near the pillar is a tall woman, her gray hair tied in a single braid, her left hand gripping a long, ivory white spear, which all of the guards people recognize. Her right hand holds an item that resembles a large pocket watch, and moving slowly towards you, as if to protect her, is a massive warrior in onyx black Magitech armor. The woman turns to look at you with a sad expression on her face. Balls in your court. Certainly, like I said, the guards recognize that this is Desdemona.
Would we recognize this figure?
You do not recognize this figure in onyx armor. But you could make a double insight roll to maybe make a logical conclusion.
Okay. I'll do that.
So are we going to try to talk to them?
My character.
Olivia does not recognize this, but you do see that it appears to be Magitech of some sort.
So, saying was the smartest move, probably, knowing already it's the battle, but my character having the bond, recognizing would approach. But I will give it a moment before we do that.
She will speak and say, I'd have preferred... Sorry, 1 second. I'd have preferred to take the compass of the beyond and avoid unnecessary violence, she sighs. My name is Desdemona Perseus, and I think I recognize some of you, especially you, Rainer. I wish we could have met again under different circumstances. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to live after you seeing my brother and I here. But why are you here, Rainer? Please, don't make me choose between you and my family. Not when I can finally be reunited with Tristan. Leave here. Forget you ever saw me, and I will not take your life. But your friends, I think they must perish.
Rainer kind of looks to these people, and would you say he has a strong bond to this group now, because they've been traveling for a while?
You have not strengthened your bond with the group. You actually have admiration and loyalty towards Desdemona, but not the party.
So, Reiner having loyalty and admiration to them, he's going to sigh for a second, and he's going to look up to them and back to the group, and he's going to speak with a heavy, sorrowful voice. Well, friends, I bid you farewell. He turns around, and Clank kind of looks around for a second before kind of striding up with Reiner as he begins to walk away. This is not for him to decide anymore. This is up to them.
They have not drawn their weapons against you yet. It's not too late to talk.
Yeah, well, they said that all my friends gotta die, and if I leave, they won't kill me. And I don't want to kill them because I'm loyal to them.
So you're leaving. You're not joining Desdemona.
I'm not.
However, she doesn't seem willing to just let them walk away like she's willing to let you. And so if they want to avoid conflict, they would need to talk it out.
Yeah, this is for them. This ain't for me.
Olivia looks at her and goes, kind of just steps over to here, looking forward. You said that is Tristan? What happened?
Rainer knows what happens, as I recall.
Just more Magitech being running rampant and destroying people, turning them into monsters. Isn't that right?
Desdemona will argue, not a monster. This has saved his life. He was lost to the void when he dove too deep into the tombs, into the ruins, to the dungeons. But the Magitech was able to capture his soul, and finally, I have a chance to restore him to some semblance of life.
Reiner kind of stops in his tracks, hearing that, and he turns. He kind of like seems agitated, hearing that they're trying to bring him back at this point. So does he have like a staff or something that he's walking with, or his book?
Yeah, Rainer does have a staff.
He kind of clicks his staff on the ground as loud as possible, and he turns to him. He lived a good life, and you know it. He died doing what he loved, and he would be peaceful to live that way. You don't know what you trouble with.
Yes, I have to agree. I have to ask, though, as someone who's considering my friend, would he have wanted this? For you, for him?
Another chance of life is another chance to learn even more.
This isn't about learning. Look at him. Really look. This feels wrong. As his friend, I understand wanting to bring him back. If there was a way to do so, I would, but this can't be right. This just can't be the way he would want things.
As you're saying this, you can see that the armor that Tristan's soul is captured within is empty. He's unable to speak.
Reiner kind of steps forward, like kind of closer to them, and he points to him with his staff, and he goes, "This man died doing what he loved. He died seeking knowledge, but yet you seek knowledge and use him to test what you've learned so far. You try to test what your knowledge sees on your friends and family. Knowledge is not about knowing what would happen, it's about finding out afterwards. And you use it in a cruel way, no matter what it takes. And I do not stand for this. I cannot let you do this."
People so far are fighting with words, and so I will introduce the clock mechanic after all. One way that this game records objectives that are not combat oriented is through clocks. So I'm going to have Reiner roll his insight plus willpower, and the DC, the difficulty level, I should say, is 13. It is difficult to convince Desdemona not to attempt to take all of your lives, but still possible if as a group you fill this 8-piece pie chart completely. Then you will have convinced her. You will have coerced her into taking your side. And now I will roll for Rainer. It is a 9, which even if he forced his bond would not be enough. However, you have a bunch of Fabula points. As a group, you can spend Fabula points to change the narrative, to use your bonds, or also to re-roll if you can use re-roll one of your traits. Because Rainer is a guard, he could spend a Fabula point to re-roll this. Would you like to try?
A question to Rainer or all of us?
That's to Rainer, because this is Rainer's roll.
Awesome.
What do you say, Jesse? Do you want to re-roll?
Sorry, I accidentally muted myself. I would. Actually, I feel like I can do much better with that roll.
Would you like to re-roll again?
Yep. I'll go for broke. I will. There we go.
It
That's
is better. It is still not enough. Would you like to re-roll one more time?
If I use my bond, will it make it enough?
Your bond is this level of 2, which is not up. The level is 13.
Fudge, I need an 11.
You need an 11. You have 3 fabulous
Going for
points right
broke.
now. All right. You've
Do
got
we
2
have
points
any way
left.
to assist him?
It's not that you would assist him, it's that you'd make your own attempt.
Okay. So
I'm
we're
going for
different
broke.
parts of the clock.
10.
Roll it again.
One last
You are
time.
out of fabulous points, but this is the one that does it.
It's the thing I needed!
Yeah.
That's one piece of the pie chart. You have forced Desdemona to listen. Who else wants to try?
So I'll talk to her. Does she know me or do I know her at all?
We can say that you know her, and she definitely recognizes the daughter of King Roland.
So Desdemona, your brother, bringing him back, what'll happen to him after that?
Would you like to roll off of that, or do you want to hear her response?
I want to hear her response.
That would be up to him. He died under terrible circumstances, so much potential, decades of life taken away from him, where we could have done great things for your country.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily mean just more time. Like, what will his life be like? Will he be rejected by most people?
The records don't say what the compass of the beyond would do to him, but I feel assured it would be better than this empty shell he currently exists in, and superior to the endless void, return to the river of souls.
Question for you, Eli.
What's that?
So, me being a knowledge seeker, would there be any, like, books in this world that speak of other religions?
There would be, but the river of souls is something that's just like boom, like that's one of the constants in all Fabula Ultimas, is that there are souls that return to the cycle.
Alright, so question about this River of Souls. Would it kind of be like connected with the light in Norse mythology?
I'm giving you narrative control of that decision.
Alright, I have no more Fabula points, so I can't make it true or not.
And it is still Astra's turn.
Yeah, that's just a question I had.
So what kind of role would I make to try to, get her to see reason that, like, actually think this through instead of just be set, like,
Your
on her?
character has a very well balanced sheet, so it doesn't really matter if I say if it's insight willpower or willpower, but it sounded like you were making a double insight roll to me.
Okay.
Because you're trying to, like, feel your way through how she's gotten herself into the situation, rather than really force her through your own will and personality.
Yeah. Okay. Double insight. And you said it's a 13?
13 is the target.
Okay.
And I don't think you only have a bond of 2. And, like, definitely, like, your bonds to West Torrent would apply here. You can spend as many Fabula points as you want to reroll. I should have mentioned this with Rainer, is that you don't need to reroll both dice. And so I'm going to refund 2 Fabula points to Rainer.
I was gonna say, friggity fudge, dude. What, he just re-rolled the friggin' 4?
So, okay. So I can spend a Fabula point and then just roll a d6?
No, you can. Yours are d8s. You can choose to keep the 6 if you wanted to, or you can reroll both of them.
How do I do that?
I would
can't.
do it with just regular dice, like on the bottom right, all those dice icons.
If you hover over the dice in here, it does move. Maybe you can click that too, but I'm not sure.
No, clicking that doesn't do anything.
So I'm rolling D8.
Yeah, if you want to reroll the entire thing, just do the dice again.
Well, if I wanted to keep the 6 and
Then just roll another d8.
Okay. No,
It's still a 10.
I'll do it another time.
Okay.
Come on, a 5.
And now you can spend a third 5 point and bring it to the 13 by invoking your bond to your city.
Okay. I will do that. I'll invoke my bond, spend the 2 points, and meet that goal.
Anybody else? I'm going to remind people that there are the Tears of the Fallen.
Okay. Question. Can we use more than one bond?
You cannot use more than one bond. You can only spend additional Fabula points to re-roll over and over again.
Okay.
Can I spend a Fabula point to add a fact about the Tears of the Fallen?
Yes.
I want to add the fact that if she imbibes the Tears of the Fallen, she can use it to communicate with, what's her husband's name, Tristan? And
It's her brother, Tristan.
Or her
Her
brother. What she can communicate with him, find out what he really wants.
That's pretty cool. I'll let you have it for free because your character has a bond to them. Like your character hid the Tears of the Fallen away, knowing that he could have communed with his family, with his mother, after King Roland left them alone, but instead decided to hide it, knowing this powerful secret.
So I'll take the tear that we found and speak to her and tell her, do you know what this is? This is one of the Tears of the Fallen. You can take this and speak to Tristan. You can find out what he wants. Maybe he doesn't want to be this thing that you're making it to be.
She sheds one of her own tears, and you can make a double insight roll. How would you like to respond to that result?
So what am I looking for?
13 is the target.
Okay.
Definitely gotta reroll that 2.
So yeah, we'll re-roll a 2. I'll spend a Fabula point.
And then if you're just re-rolling the 1, just roll an extra d8.
Okay.
So now 5 and 5, that's 10.
And I'll spend another one to re-roll one of the 5s.
Gotta get a 6. Big money on whammies.
Nope.
Now it's down to 9.
So spend another one.
To re-roll the 4.
Yep.
You have 2 left. You have 1 left.
Can't be happening.
Sure can.
You can, like, I guess your character could use it. Oh, there you go. 8 plus 5 is 13. You have 1 left, and you have convinced her of something. She says that maybe the tears would be worth your life. You are. I see King Roland's face in yours. Are you royalty as well?
I'm but a bastard child of the king. That does not make me royalty.
It does put you distant into the line of inheritance, indeed. Who's next?
Question. Oh, you got.
No, go ahead. Ask your question first.
Does she drink the tears and try to communicate with?
She hasn't accepted it yet. She has simply said that maybe if Karas gives her the tears, then him and Raynor could leave safely.
So she's still saying that she's after us, the rest of the group.
Correct.
All right. Did you want to do anything else before I take my turn?
You can go ahead. I'll wait.
So, what I'm envisioning is that Herring would kind of step towards the middle of both groups and trying to kind of be like a mediator since he has a bond with both the party and with these characters. And basically, the speech would go something of this nature. Like, okay, putting morals aside, if Tristan was to come back after you use the tears, you communicate, and everything goes well, how does this truly impact our lives? It doesn't affect most of our lives directly. There's no reason to escalate this situation.
This sounds like an insight plus... Oh, sorry, you want to continue?
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to say is basically anybody who would have a chance to communicate with a loved one one more time, if there was a ethical good way to do it, would take that chance.
It sounds like an insight and willpower check. They're the same for you.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll.
Once my sheet pops up, there we go. Insight and willpower, correct?
Yes. You have 5 Fabula points.
You know we're gonna keep rolling.
Spend 1. Probably reroll both of them.
Yeah.
And on the second one, you get it.
Perfect.
She scoffs and says, "You think big for a guardsman, but still you think small, because it's not merely about Tristan returning to life, but if you and your loose lips returned to West Torin and released how he was returned to life, he would be seen as a monster, an abomination, and maybe he would be." Who's next?
I
can see how I can do it. If no one else has something.
It seems like Olivia is conceding the stage to you.
I was gonna try to tell her that that doing this to her brother may not be the best way for him, even though like his soul is in that suit, presumably. Like, you know, if he can't speak, like the process might be cruel to him, is I think what I'm ultimately getting at. Like, we don't know like what kind of suffering he's currently experiencing.
This sounds like either double insight or double willpower. I can see both of them coming out. You choose.
All right. We go with double insight. Don't fail me now. Darn it.
You have 5 Fabula points.
All right. I'm gonna do that again.
You may want to re-roll the 5, or you have a level 2 loyalty to West Torrent Crest. You might want to spend a Fabula point to invoke that.
All right. I will do the. I would spend one more Fabula point to invoke the loyalty to West Thorncrest.
You are all approaching the threshold. You see something move inside of her, and she says, "Maybe we can come to terms, but you cannot tell anyone you saw either of us here, and we need to leave with the compass. I need to restore my brother to life. What happened to him was unjust. It was unfair. He was so young and so wise. But I also cannot have anyone meddling in our future. We will not return to Torren." Olivia, your turn.
Olivia looks at her and goes, Dace, before you try to bring him back, I would want to know what he would want, what kind of suffering he's in. I would, as his dear friend, I would ask what he would want in this situation. This, I would not betray the fact that you had resurrected him in such a way if it happens, but you have a chance to ask him. A chance that people here and anywhere would likely kill for. Please, just ask what he wants.
Sounds like an insight plus willpower.
They're both the same, honestly.
It's been happening a lot. A lot of people have very balanced character sheets.
Oh, wait a minute.
You got an 8 in there. Do you want to reroll the 3? Or invoke a bond?
I would need a 13, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have 2 points of bond?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
So I was asking. So what would I click on here to re-roll? Just
roll a d8.
Just roll a d8.
And I have subtracted your Fabula point. So now you could invoke a bond.
And I'm going to invoke a bond. I'm going to invoke my bond with Tristan.
Literally Tristan himself.
I'm sorry?
So yeah, the bond literally with Tristan himself. She says, "I recognize you, Olivier. I am perhaps too close to my brother to ask him myself. Would you drink the tears and ask him for me?"
I would do that and more, Des.
I trust that you have his best intentions at heart, and I will let you role play with Tristan now.
Okay. Walks over. Is it Karis that has the tears?
It is.
Walks over to Karis and holds out his hand for the tears.
Take the vial out of the backpack and give it to you.
And he walks over in front of Tristan, weapon holstered. He basically gets within like talking distance to him and drinks the tears.
Be aware it only lasts but a moment.
When they cross your lips, you are not just struck with the vision of Tristan, but the vision of everyone who lived within the crater when it was a city on its own. You are surrounded by ghosts, but among them there is one single soul with red and black veins coursing through him, chaining him to the armor in front of you.
I see him and I look at him. I go, Tristan, can you hear what's been happening around you?
Yes, Olivier. I hear you asking to save my sister. I do not think she would last against us, but all I want is her safety. I would die again for it.
Do you want her to bring you back in this way?
I care not for my life. I died a good life pursuing what I loved, but if you can tell her to take the compass and run away with my armor, I would be pleased. She does not need to return me to life. She only needs to live her own.
Outwardly, I'd like to say Olivier is sobbing. I understand, my brother. I will tell her. And does the connection end at that point?
We'll say it ends there, and you can make a double insight roll +4.
And I'm gonna look over at her and I'm gonna go, Des. And I did not +4 that.
There's no way to really put the +4 in there, but it makes it a 10.
Can I Fabula the 2?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Ooh, has he would rather you be safe than him be alive.
And she begins to weep.
He asked you to take the compass, take his armor, and just go.
He knows what it would take, that I would need to use the compass to navigate the afterlife and recover the final remnants of his soul to return him. Who's next?
I'll go. Would you say she's in like a vulnerable state right now?
Certainly.
Does anyone actually have Fabula points left?
I think I have 2.
I have 3.
Rainer has 2, because I retconned a little bit.
Okay.
I believe in the heart of the cards and the first roll being the one this time. Reiner's gonna kind of walk up and he's gonna try to embrace her, having a close pass with her and her brothers. And he's gonna lay one of his heartfelt speeches on her. You don't think I've wasted my prime, my position as captain, my promises and love for your brothers and you? You don't think I've wept in sorrow and pain at the power I've held, but how useless I was? You don't think I know how hard it's been? You don't think I've thought of the future we could have had, the lives we could have held, the knowledge we sought? You don't think I've traded lifetimes of knowledge for this moment? We were close. All of us, the stories by the fire, the time we've spent on fields. He's died happy. And the day you bring him back, you take a pot that you won't get back. You create new memories, yes. But for him, you'll pain his future. His past plagued with disease. All those fond moments gone. Do you truly wish to squander what you've had for something that may be?
That was gorgeous. I think that's 2 insight.
Alright, let's see it. In the heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards, 14. The clock is filled, and Desdemona breaks down crying and tells you, all of you, go. leave us. I will not resurrect my brother against his wishes, but we cannot return to West Torin. It is no place for one such as him. I will find another way to restore him to life that he would abide by. And they wander closer to the pillar. And she
So
repeats herself, go, leave here.
Still need that purple thing to go away, right? So our ship can take off.
She takes her spear in 2 hands and points it at the pillar. I'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you. I wish you all the best.
And as you all turn around, you hear a decisive strike against the pillar. Once, twice, 3 times, and then the circular room begins to crumble behind you as you escape. With mixed emotions, having made a new friend in Olivia and re-encountered old ones, curious as to their future, you all find yourselves escaping the crater of Megiddo, both lesser and more, with new friends and with a greater party than you first encountered it with. Astra has defied her father and discovered that Upper Torin is not as big a threat as it once was. Laguard has come to terms with both magic and technology, seeing that perhaps the most important thing is the heart. Karas has developed respect for his half-sister and finds himself a new place, a potential location in this world, while Aaron, Olivier, and Reiner have reconciled with old mentors and friends and see that there is a future for all of them. Did everyone have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yes.
Yes.
A great time.
That was a lot of fun. Seriously, in over 100 sessions, that was the most emotional I've been.
Yeah, I've only played with insane maniacs, it seems. This is like very different for me.
It was truly a beautiful scene. Like, stars to everybody. That was wonderful.
It really was, and I have to say I love the creativity of the Tears of the Fallen. Like most games wouldn't allow you to come up with something like that.
Yeah,
that
no.
was
I like that a lot, the narrative control you can take.
yeah.
That's one of
And
the
the
things that's made me
yeah.
going.
Standing ovation for the speech.
Yeah, Jesse, that was excellent. Like that was a nice closing. It was, you were right. Heart of the cards. You earned that 14, and I didn't take a moment to mention that when you roll the same number on the same dice, on both dice, and they're above 6, that's a critical success.
Oh, so like a 6-6 would be critical, 6-7s, or 7-7 and 8-8.
Yes, there's the only crit this entire session. So not only did you get the 8, the benefit of the critical is you actually increase the objective by 2 more. So you succeeded by 10, like you overshot it big time.
Let's go. What a closer.
That was an
Talk about
excellent
heartbreak.
closer. I'm waving my hand in front of my eyes. That was beautiful, everybody.
This
It
is
was
really
hard transitioning from Twisted Limb to Reiner. It's very difficult.
This is a really interesting system. How like the whole party and the GM get to really like do things together instead of it just being here's, something planned out to do.
And I think that's why this game won so many awards. Like it is so beautiful in that aspect, is that like I'm not the one who knows the story. Like nobody knows it. We all get to discover it together. And as it's uncovered, all these new corners, it really shines a light on humanity.
I feel like this is also a good game to play with game masters, because it's like everyone at the table gets to be a creative instead of
Everyone's having fun.
one person
Yeah.
has a say over it.
Yeah.
And we were very lucky that Chris, from his Avatar game, he showed me that's really good to have a session 0 before a one-shot, which I think helped all of us build these characters together, get into it, know who we were, and know who each other was, and know who the world was. It's just so funny that both the enemies ended up being Tauren. That's just like a quirk of the random.
Yeah.
I think we need to end it there, however. This was it. This is the end of the tutorial. This campaign is not continuing. No matter how beautiful it was, I think we need to be satisfied with how it was. Mostly because of the time zones. I'm sorry, Noble, that we live so far apart, but it was really good playing with you. I hope we can get together again.
Thank you. I appreciate you making out the time to do so. I really do. And nice meeting everybody as well.
Yeah, you too.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
So yeah, hopefully our paths cross again, since Noble and I, we both have this, we're walking in parallel towards the pro game master. If you guys have a chance to join his game, I can highly suggest him in City of Mists. Otherwise, I hope to catch the rest of you in the server, catch you online. Enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you so much for playing.
Yep.
Question
night.
for you, Eli.
Yeah, what's up,
Good night,
Cassie?
How does one level up in Fabula Ultima?
Good question. I'll mention that probably everybody would have gotten 10 experience points just from like a great session, which would be a level up. Also, we would sum up all of the Fabula points everybody spent and then divide it by the number of characters, and that would be additional experience points.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you earn experience by spending Fabula points.
Wait, so we leveled up this game?
You would have leveled up, but this campaign is over, so we don't need to worry about leveling up. The way leveling up
gotcha.
works is you get to choose one of your classes, and you just choose a new skill in it. You get another hit point, you get another mind point.
Awesome. Understandable.
Typically, you would run this as another game. Basically, you'd run this off and say, okay, and this is where it splits off. But I think this, because it's just a one-shot, we don't have to worry about leveling up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what would be future campaigns with these characters, or is this it?
This is it, mostly because of the time zone difference between us and Noble, and I wouldn't feel right, especially with such a harmonious ending, continuing this campaign without him.
Got it. So I have to make a new character if we ever did it?
Yes, maybe you and I could convince our D&D game, like after that campaign finishes, to start a Fabula Ultima campaign as the next open door TPT-RPG.
I would actually really like that.
I would like that too, so we can pitch it after Spelljammer.
Got it.
Oh man, you're running Spelljammer? Damn.
I am running Spelljammer.
I've been
Actually,
trying to.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've been trying to find a Spelljammer game, so
That is
and
one
this-
of my premium games. There are some people who kind of like grandfathered in as I was getting started. If you or Michael want to join, let's discuss that over the next couple of weeks.
I was going to say, I had fun, and I would definitely be down to wreak havoc upon another game of yours.
yeah, I'd be open to that too.
It would be a pleasure to have either of you at my table. The long story short is just join my Patreon. That gives you a place at that table.
Oh, there's Patreon. Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out.
It's one of my premium games. Yeah, I've got space for 2, and we would need to discuss, like, before you join the Patreon, let's discuss like where the best place to put you in, probably in the next session or 2. But yeah, otherwise, this was a lovely session. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Good night,
Can
everyone.
you send me a link to your Patreon?
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah, me too, if you could at some
I
point.
would put that in. I'll put that in the Fabula Ultima. And same thing, if you guys want to give me a review on Start Playing, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. All right. See you, everyone.